A Drew County woman says a now former Arkansas State Police trooper planted cocaine in her car during a traffic stop almost 2 years ago.
I went to his trunk, retrieved drugs, and walked around to the front passenger side and threw them in where he could retrieve them at the jail. And I got charged with it, was facing 20 years.
Man, this was a terrible case to present to the courts, man. You're saying things that she didn't do, man. You've also told this to DTF, you got them involved.
This unbelievable story begins with an Arkansas state trooper making a traffic stop on a woman for driving with a suspended license. An Arkansas trooper, Walker Morphus, and other troopers have stopped and cited Amanda for this in the recent past, which is why the trooper says he recognized her and knew that her license was suspended. But this time Amanda says Trooper Morphus did something different. She says he got drugs from the trunk of his patrol car and put them in the cab of the car with the intent to charge her with them later. And he did charge her with possession and intent to distribute, even though she never had any drugs on her.
Morphus pulled over Prince for driving on a suspended license, something she says she owns up to and has been in trouble for before. But she says she was also charged for possession of cocaine, something that came as a shock.
However, because of the major inconsistencies with the trooper's report and the dashcam evidence proving the trooper to be a liar, Amanda was acquitted by a jury and cleared of all charges. And at one point, Amanda's attorney even gets the trooper to admit on the stand that he towed her car but didn't have to.
A jury later acquitted Prince of the drug possession charge. Now she's working to rebuild her life.
Homeless for 8 months. I lost my deceased father's truck.
Amanda Prince then files official civil rights complaints on Trooper Christian Walker Morphus, claiming that not only were the drugs not hers, but that Morphus planted them. And these allegations opened up an internal investigation. This is the interrogation of Trooper Christian Walker Morphus.
He showed us.
I want to caution you about being upfront, being honest. One thing about a lie, once you tell a lie, you have to tell several little lies to keep that lie going.
Yes, sir.
In preparation as we go through all of this, just want you to let you know the investigative efforts that we took, and we took it collectively as a unit, man. We went to the car wash. I got the time that you went to the car wash, the time you left. We tried to be as thorough in this deal as possible.
Yes, sir.
And I want to let you know that up front as you answer these questions, okay?
Yes, sir.
So this is what Miss Amanda Prince is alleging took place. The subsequent baseless charges against me, including possession of cocaine, were not only unfounded, but were also dismissed in court due to a complete lack of evidence. Video evidence indicates the potential planting of drugs by Officer Walker Morphus, which raises severe concerns regarding the integrity of this officer and the department as a whole.
I mean, we had several encounters prior to this stop in question.
Do you remember if you searched the vehicle on that time?
I'll tell you, I don't. I would imagine I did, just, but I don't recall specifically.
But you do recall that there were no drugs found on that time. She wasn't charged with any drugs.
Yeah, I'll tell you, she wasn't charged. Though,
okay. Then Tyler Grant got her again for the same 3 charges. I was able to review that video. The first one was already off the server, but I was able to review this one. He did an inventory search. He towed the vehicle, and he didn't locate any drugs on that time. Then November the 25th to 23, he got her again. He did a consent search. No drugs were found. Didn't tow the vehicle because the passenger had a warrant. He took her to jail, and I believe he let Miss Prince drive off.
Everyone has told me that she's known to carry drugs.
Okay.
Regardless, this has been the only time, to my knowledge, that I've actually, well, I thought it was her. Got her with drugs.
Got you. So let's talk about the stop. So you blue light her. She drives a little ways and pulls into that little gravel area.
Get out.
You want this on?
Yeah.
Leave it on?
No, take it off.
Why did you get her out the truck before you went through your whole bias-based policing statement?
Because I had a pathetic attitude.
Yeah.
There was a string of 6 to 8 months where I had a pathetic attitude. I can sit here and tell you excuse A to B to Z, and it's not going to make a difference. It doesn't excuse my attitude. None of that excuses my attitude. I had an attitude problem. I'm aware of that. I'm working on it. I can't tell you it's 100% fixed, but I can tell you that we're miles from where we started.
I don't understand how many times do I have to tell you.
I just went to
I didn't ask for your excuses. I didn't ask for your excuses. I don't know how many times we have to tell you.
I am.
Put your cigarette out.
Okay.
Put change on the truck. I just don't understand how many times. I didn't ask for your excuse.
Okay.
I don't know how many times we have to tell you.
understand that, but
I don't think you're getting a hint.
I do.
I don't think you do.
Yeah, because I got insurance, tags.
You did. That's all fine and dandy, except you don't have a license.
But I'm trying.
You driving, going to the freaking grocery store is not trying. Go have a seat in my back seat.
I just went to crack up.
Go have a seat in my back seat.
Okay.
Well, walk.
Okay.
Is there anything on your person?
No.
When they search you at the jail, are they going to find anything?
No.
Because watching it, listening to it, it appears as if you were pissed off at her. I mean, like you pissed
yes,
off
sir.
from the.
And I think, honestly, I was just mad I was at work.
Okay.
Honestly, I mean, if I had a pathetic attitude, and it's an embarrassment to the agency. It's an embarrassment to me. I hate that you've probably watched this video 20 times. The command staff has watched it. I hate it.
Yeah.
It looks horrible, and I know it does.
Now, to add to that, when I'm talking to these prosecutors and defense attorneys, and they're saying, well, it probably didn't help, because the way he was acting.
Right.
Man, it's just something you need to consider.
Yes, sir. And I understand. I've had to testify or apologize in open court several times for my attitude in that time frame, and I'm facing the repercussions of it every day. And it's all I can tell you and the command staff is I'm working on it.
When they search you at the jail, they're not going to find anything.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Okay, have a seat. Anything in that truck not supposed to be?
No.
Any objections to me looking?
No.
Okay.
So you cuffed her, and you just why didn't you do any kind of pat down on her, man?
The only thing I can think of was I had tunnel vision and hey, this is the however many times we've stopped you going to jail.
Mm-hmm.
I'm ticked off because I'm at work and having to deal with you again.
Mm-hmm.
So we're just going to jail for driving unsuspended.
I just got insurance and tags on my truck, and I go to court Tuesday, and was going to take care of it. Was going to take care of that.
Is there anything in that truck I'm going to find?
No,
Okay.
absolutely not.
Okay. All right. We're waiting on Reggie's coming to get your truck. Whenever he gets your truck, we'll ride to jail.
Since I got insurance, why does it got to be anything?
Because it's
Like I said, I was mad. I was there. I was mad the whole time. It's just a pathetic attitude. I mean, I wish I had an answer.
Huh? I did? You need to.
Hey, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Can I call somebody?
That's the jail.
You take her off the jail. You call it what is it? CDF? CDF?
Yes, sir.
What's that stand for?
Correctional Detention Facility.
I tell everybody the same thing. I'm telling you, if there's anything on your person, and I'm not saying there is, but I tell everybody,
It's a new charge, I know.
it's equal across the board. It's a felony, and I don't think
I
you're
don't
on a
have
felony.
anything. I swear to God.
I'm just saying, I tell everybody,
I understand.
people can't say I didn't give them a fair shot.
Well, I will never say that. You did.
Morphus, you get her there. You get her out. Now, walk me through what happened once you get her out the patrol car.
So as soon as I pull up to the Sally Port, I cut my camera. That's just, I don't know if it's good technique. It's just what I've always done. I know that there's cameras in the Sally Port.
Mm-hmm.
So as soon as I pull up, I cut my camera. I walk around to the back side of my car. I opened up my back door, asked her to step out.
Hold on, let me pause right there. And that was one of my questions. You cut your camera off, but then you cut it right back on.
So I cut it off, and then the way I understand, or the way I remember it, is I cut it off, and then whenever I asked her to step out and I see the bag of crack cocaine at her feet, I immediately cut it back on because I didn't want there to be a gap in video for court or whatever else, you know. So I that's the best way I can remember it. It's because I know there's 3 different videos there.
Right.
Whenever she steps out, I see the bag at her feet.
Okay.
I don't know if she's already at the front of my car, or I ask her to go stand at the front of my car, open up my passenger door, reach in, grab another glove, and then go back and pull the dope from the floorboard. So it's that half cage, and there's a bar that comes up under the passenger seat. And it was right under that bar, right near her right foot.
Okay.
And when I opened up the door to ask her to step out, all I saw was just a clear bag, and immediately recognized, hey, that's probably dope.
Okay.
So I went up, grabbed a glove, came back, grabbed the dope. I initially thought it was meth. Asked her about it, and immediately she denied it, and we went to the Sally Port from there.
Okay.
Bull crap, because that was not on me.
Well, that's fine. I got a camera that watched the whole thing.
Except for the fact that you checked me. You could have checked me out there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure. Nothing smooth. Priceless.
That's fine. There was a camera back there.
Yeah, there was a camera, all except for the fact that you did not fucking check me.
You're a female. How am I supposed to pat you down?
You could have told me to do it.
Are you going to turn around or are you going to run your mouth?
You could, damn.
Okay, well, she was here for misdemeanor, now she's here for felony.
Why?
So as she's stepping out, you immediately see it down at her feet.
To the best I remember, yes.
Okay. You get a glove and you retrieve it and you present it to her. Why didn't you? I mean, and we all do it differently. Me, I probably would have took a picture of it where it was located and put it on my show, put it in front of the camera. Why didn't you just do the whole? I mean, you know, for a strong court case.
It never crossed my mind.
Yeah.
I had tunnel vision. I was one track. It never crossed my mind.
Right.
And Captain brought that point up to me as well. He said, why didn't you take a picture of it where it was? And it never crossed my mind.
All I'm saying is there was a camera that was facing the back seat the whole time. All I've got to do is go pull the camera back.
Please
I
do,
will.
because that's
I will.
not mine.
I will.
I swear.
But here's what you need to understand.
Okay.
10 minutes before I stopped you, I just searched my car, and that wasn't in there. You're the only person that's been in my back seat. Okay? I checked my car. Let me finish. I checked my car at the beginning of shift and the end of shift, and I just checked it. You're the only person that's been there. And it didn't magically appear. Okay?
Okay, it did not come off
Your argument that I didn't check you.
But that, I meant, you could have had me.
No, that's not how we operate. When you got out, I realized you didn't have any weapons on you, okay? That's my priority at that point, right? Okay. I can't pat you down. You're a female. Once I realize that you don't have any weapons on you, that's about all I can do. So,
I promise you that did not come off of me. Please, please review.
I will, but you're probably getting charged with it.
Okay, please
Have a seat.
review the camera.
Have a seat.
Swear to God,
Have a seat.
not mine.
Have a seat.
Now, Morpheus, for the sake of this complaint, I have to ask.
Yes, sir.
When you went to the car wash,
Yes, sir.
you didn't locate this dope at the car wash?
No, sir.
Okay. You didn't have this dope in your front seat the
No,
whole
sir.
time?
No, sir. Absolutely not.
Okay. From the time that you get to the jail, I know you went to the car wash 302, went into the car wash at 304, you come out the car wash at 306, you went to the vacuums 306 to 310, then you leave the car wash altogether at 311, and at some point later on within that hour you make contact with Miss Prince.
Yes, sir.
When she was telling you that it was not hers, what was going through your mind then?
That I just left the car wash and I didn't see it, so it had to be hers. I put everything in when I vacuumed out my back seat. That bag of dope was not there. I didn't see that bag of dope. So, and I knew that she was the only person in my back seat after vacuuming it out.
Okay.
So I put everything into that. Well, it's not mine, and it wasn't there when I vacuumed my car out, so it has to be hers.
At any point, did you go and review your camera?
So, if I did, I don't remember, but if I did, I know I would have viewed it on my little screen because it takes a minute down there to upload because of the internet. So I would have viewed it on that little screen.
So you're saying you're not sure if you reviewed your camera?
I don't remember. I don't want to tell you one thing and not be truthful. I don't remember, honestly.
So Morpheus, this is the concern. Why did you list it in your incident report?
I don't remember. I'll say this: if I typed it in my incident report that I reviewed my camera, I feel confident in telling you that I reviewed my camera.
But that's a pretty big turning point for your whole charge on her because of the details that you put in your incident report. Anybody on the outside looking in would know that he went out and reviewed his camera before he charged her.
Right.
So I'm gonna read you what you wrote. Immediately after stepping out, I observed a clear baggie with a white substance, which later field tested positive for cocaine in the floorboard that was not there prior to Ms. Prince being in my vehicle. Shortly before contacting Ms. Prince, I had washed my car and vacuumed out my back seat in the immediate area where Ms. Prince was. There was also red footprints where white substance was. This red clay was transferred from Ms. Prince's shoes from the location of the traffic stop. A review of my backseat camera revealed Ms. Prince moving very erratically for a short period of time and appeared to be digging in her waistline shortly before the narcotics were found. Now, Walker, I know that you reviewed this video, the whole 42 minutes with your captain.
Yes, sir.
Major Casey has reviewed it. My team has reviewed it several different ways. Ms. Prince never did that.
Okay.
She never did that. We handcuffed one of the civilian ladies here, similar height and size, to determine the type of movement it would take to get those narcotics from her waistline, as you stated, to the floorboard. It's impossible, man.
Okay.
This video is going to demonstrate the movement it would take for a suspect to maneuver some narcotics from their back waistband down to their feet area, which is part of this complaint. The complainant in this case was handcuffed behind her back with the palms facing outward. Ms. Ashley is handcuffed in the same fashion. So Ms. Ashley, if you have a seat. Now I want you to do minimal movement. Try to, you're back against the chair. Use minimal movement to maneuver those narcotics down to your feet. Thank you.
At no point throughout this entire thing have I intended or have I lied about anything that I remember. So if I wrote that, at some point I went back and I reviewed my camera. I just can't tell you, LT, that at this date, at this time, I sat down and watched my camera.
Okay. But listen to what you wrote. A review of my backseat camera revealed Ms. Prince moving very erratically for a short period of time and appeared to be digging in her waistline shortly before the narcotics were found. So that would be shortly before the time that you located it, either on the way to the jail or while you had pulled up at the jail. Right. This is what you wrote.
Right.
Shortly before the narcotics were found.
So there's the time that, and Captain and I went back and watched it, and the prosecutor and I went back and watched it before court. There's a time that after the tow truck arrives, that it's now from this side looking in, it's minute, but at the time, she's here on like her right side, that she's moving around and looking, turning around like this. That's the only time that I can sit here and tell you that I'm calling erratic movement.
So, Morpheus, let me tell you the concern with that. In order to have noted that, you would have had to watch your video from start to finish while at the jail. I have the time that you made your very next stop after you left the jail. It's you had made another stop within the hour. You see what I'm saying? So your report is saying that you knew Ms. Prince dropped the dope because she was moving erratically, but you hadn't even reviewed any of that before you charged her.
That report, the only thing I can think of is that a few days after the fact, before I went and submitted the report, I went back and watched the video, and that's why I typed that, is because I reviewed the video prior to typing the report.
So again, Morpheus, I can tell when you review them.
Yes, sir.
That didn't happen. You never. I got the log right, the audit log right here. There was never a time where you went and it was uploaded to the server and you reviewed the stop. To charge somebody with felonies such as this is a felony.
Yes, sir.
10 grams crack cocaine, possession with intent to deliver. You show her this dope that you believe to be meth. You toss it on the front of your car. Did you know that you left it out there?
Mm-hmm.
You went into jail. The sally port door closed. The dope still sitting on the top of your car.
No, I didn't even realize that.
So you're in there. You're going through your spiel with her. You're reading your rights, and then you come back out, and then that's when you get the dope, and then you go around and you cut your camera off.
Can you tell them to open this, please? Yeah, so I can walk back out.
I'm hung up on this incident report and the things that you stated in your incident report, and I'll just tell you, Morpheus, looking at this and even talking to the command staff, the way it's viewed is that you were trying to make your court case.
Okay.
There's at no point is she digging in her waistline, and I'm just going to tell you, Morpheus, that's a lie. She never dug in her waistline.
Okay.
The erratic moving, her turning her head, is the most moving that she did. And Morpheus, you lost to a public defender.
Right.
So you know that the case wasn't strong.
Right.
Your incident report wasn't even submitted with the case file that James and them had.
Right.
Why was that?
I don't have an answer for that. I didn't find that out until I met with the prosecutor a week or so before the case, and didn't realize that I didn't submit it. I didn't even realize that it wasn't submitted to DTF.
So that looks questionable. Like you knew this report was written fluffy, and you didn't give it to him. You even told James and them the same thing. Agent Slaughter spoke to Trooper Morpheus, and he advised that in patrol car camera shows Prince moving around in the rear seat of the patrol car. Trooper Morpheus stated Prince turned all the way around at one time, and this is when he believes she dropped the bag of white substance. At no point did she turn all the way around, Morpheus.
Was it not so there's a point when the tow truck pulls up that I'm sitting on Bowser Road, and she's facing this way, and she did this movement.
You finna pull it up?
Okay.
That's the only way I know how to do it.
Yes, sir.
Pull it up. Her hands are positioned on top of her shirt for the entire time. For her to have gotten dope down here, she would have had to turn all the way around. The demonstration we did was only able to get it over her to the right side, not way up here where her feet were at. Hands in the same position. You can see them clearly on top of her shirt. She knows she's going to jail. And now at this point, for somebody with that amount of crack on them,
we can't have somebody come pick it up. She quickly threw out the Minotti's name. She said, I'm looking for the Minotti's. I said, okay.
That's the only time that I saw that I said she completely turned around.
Morpheus, you see her hands.
LT, I do now. Yes, sir.
She turned, looked, and turned right back around. There's no way she could. Why not send the dope to the crime lab for fingerprints?
Never crossed my mind.
So you're playing with her life, man. You're talking about 6 years, Class A felony. You're not 100% that the dope is hers.
No, sir, I wasn't.
But the way you articulated in your report, you're saying things that she didn't do, man. That's what I'm trying to communicate to you. You've also told this to DTF. You got them involved, and now they're going off what you're telling them, and they're going through with a case file. Without your police report, they just got what you said, that she turned all the way. James wrote that you told him that she turned all the way around. That means that she then turned all the way around versus turning her head. So, man, this was a terrible case to present to the courts, man. Looking at your report, okay, well, he said he reviewed it. She was moving very erratically and digging in her waistline. That never occurred, Morpheus. That never occurred. So Was you trying to build a case? I mean, what was going through your head when you typed this?
Even after we lost it in court, there was never a doubt in my mind that it was hers. I felt good about it. I felt confident about it.
Your case is built upon the fact that you vacuumed your car, you didn't see the dope then, and she's the only person been in there. Why not leave it there? It's when you add these extra layers about her moving erratically, you even talking about the red clay from the stop. So it's like you're trying to persuade somebody. Ultimately, you all lost in court, which is the right call. But you have to be real careful about what you put on police reports. And then now you communicate to another law enforcement entity. You're telling them things that didn't happen. She never turned all the way around. But this is what Agent Slaughter had in this case file. This is what he presented to the courts, man. I don't know how he presented this without your incident report. He just went in what you told him. Nobody even knew that you did an incident report up until this investigation. When I talked to Tim Leonard, he said he did an incident report, and nobody even knew.
Yes,
so how do you think that's going to reflect on you? They're like, well, he did an incident report, but he never submitted it.
Oh, it looks bad. I wholeheartedly understand and agree. It doesn't look good, and I don't have an answer for it. I wish I did.
Because you didn't just charge her with possession. You charged her with tampering with physical evidence and obstructing governmental operations. Let's not forget the other charges that you put on her. So what is your evidence? I mean, what is your proof that she did this? How are you coming up with these charges? If you'd have just charged her with possession because it was there, but now you're saying that she's obstructing and she's tampering with evidence. Do you know where the dope come from?
I've watched a video. Captain LT showed me a video prior to this stop, a couple days prior to this stop, that he was doing some moving in my back seat.
We'll be there in like 2 minutes. Alright, I tell everybody the same thing. When we get in here, if there's anything in your pockets you bring it into the jail, that's a felony. You don't need a felony. So if there's anything on you, you need to tell me now. Because when we cross that door and we search, it's going to be even worse. Guns, knives, bombs, hand grenades, any kind of drug, prescription or not prescription? No, sir. Okay.
This cat here that you arrest on the 14th, this is the guy that had the dope. And I'm going to show you this video. This cat had all the main food groups. He had $3,600 cash, had a pistol. I mean, only dope runners can, move around like that. Charge. Absolutely. He got the dope in his left hand. Watch what he do. Right down in his coveralls. He's trying to walk away from you. Tyler sees it, but he don't. Slick, man. These cats slick. And it's back there the entire time. Either you didn't catch it at the vacuum, I don't know, but it's back there. And Amanda had to go through the whole deal because of it. Man, you play on people's lives, man. Yeah. You see all the time people be, wrongly accused of stuff, man. Don't be that guy, man. Yes, man, check, watch that video. Sit her in there. Go home, wait till upload, watch, and go back up there and charge it. Send it to the crime lab. Do your due diligence.
Yes, sir.
Well, Morpheus, that answers all my questions, man. I have to go through everything again. I type it all up and I send it, and you get set for CSRB. They're determined what policies, if any, were violated.
Yes, sir.
After this internal investigation interview, the findings are then sent to the Command Staff Review Board.
We are here because a complaint was filed against you by a member of the general public. You understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Some of the things that you wrote in your incident report, Miss Prince moving very erratically and appeared to be digging in her waistband shortly before the narcotics were found. Is that a true statement?
After reviewing the video, I'm not sure what I was referencing in that point. Prior to trial, the prosecutor and I sat down and we tried to find an exact time, like, hey, this is the moment. I couldn't find it.
Maybe you had a narrative in your head and you just made that narrative up on paper, because it clearly didn't happen on the video, correct? On whether it's small screen or big screen or TV screen,
yes, sir.
It didn't happen, right?
Yes, no, you're right, yes, sir.
Okay, so, I mean, that's what I'm asking. Maybe you had that narrative in your head and you just put it on paper from thin air, because it clearly did not happen on your video, whatever screen you watched it.
Right.
Is that accurate?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And I'll say you made a comment, once she was found not guilty, you hadn't thought another thing of it, basically. So you know who has thought another thing of it? Is that lady.
Yes, sir.
Probably every single day, every hour that she's
She
gets
was
up.
going to prison.
Yeah, I mean,
She lost her truck. She lost her job. And she lost her dignity. Do you feel like you violated the rules of conduct? And I can kind of give you, and that's, I can get to it, about acceptable behavior and tarnishing the reputation of the Arkansas State Police. Do you feel like that you have violated the rules of conduct?
In that instance, yes, wholeheartedly.
Walker, what do you think should happen?
A state police spokesperson confirmed that Morphus was fired at the start of this year. Their investigation found Morphus violated 3 policies when it came to rules of conduct, improper documentation, and transportation of a prisoner. In addition to firing Morphus, the agency moved to decertify him from law enforcement.
An Arkansas State Police spokesperson has since confirmed that then ASP Trooper Walker Morphus was fired in 2025 after 5 years with the agency. However, officials with Arkansas State Police also responded with the following statement. The incident at the heart of this story was thoroughly investigated by ASP's Office of Professional Standards. Our agency has been completely transparent about our review process and results. We stand by the decision to terminate this employee and have taken action to have him decertified because of serious policy violations outlined in his termination letter. The allegations made by Ms. Prince, however, are erroneous and irresponsible. There is zero evidence to support allegations that this trooper planted drugs. And so at the end of the day, I don't know what that bag was that he threw in his front seat, and I never saw it addressed by his command staff or his lieutenant. It may have been a glove or some trash, but I don't believe it was drugs he got out of his trunk. And so he wasn't fired for planting drugs, but he was fired for his poor police work that almost cost a woman her freedom, and he was recommended for decertification. The most recent info I can find on this decertification is that it was accepted for review. And so Morphus will very likely never be a cop again. But as of the date of making this video, there are no charges brought against former Trooper Morphus, and there are no lawsuits filed that I can see either.
There's not a whole lot that they can replace with money. Like my deceased father's truck, they can never replace. I can never replace that. So I don't know how you put a monetary value on it. But accountability for sure.
And I don't blame Amanda for thinking Morphus planted those drugs, especially with the evidence at hand. And there's always the chance that he did know they were there and planned to pin them on someone else later. Especially since he claimed that he vacuumed that spot 10 minutes prior. How would you not know it's there unless you put it there or you saw it there? But I think it's clear where they initially came from, and even if it were an honest mistake, I think it's clear that you don't have to be a bad guy to be a bad cop. So tell me what you think about all of this in the comments, and please like and share this video to show the world. Thanks everybody.